You're listening to the World's Team Podcast. It's not just America's team, Cowboys Nation. It's the world's team. Now, here are your hosts, Paul Stewart and Mike Poland.
How about them Cowboys?
What is up, Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to another episode of the World's Team Podcast, brought to you by the Believe Network and sponsored by Cowboys Experience for the ultimate stadium tours, game tickets, all the above. Be sure to go to www.cowboysexperience.com and use the discount code World's Team 2025. Like I said, we are going to update the discount code when we speak to our sponsor, but that it will get changed. But nonetheless, we are back. And obviously, we just had the Super Bowl there with the Seahawks winning their second title, which to me was pretty much a defensive masterclass, really, from the Seattle Seahawks. DeMarcus Lawrence got his Super Bowl, which we're incredibly thrilled for him. Absolutely thrilled for him. But just to give our quick reaction to it, Mike, what was your thoughts about the game?
It was a slow burn. We said it was going to be a slow burner. It was. But what you really saw, Seahawks allowing 51 yards total to the New England Patriots by halftime. I mean, when you saw that, I was just like, wow. Like you say, I was all about getting DeMarcus Lawrence his Super Bowl. That's why I was a Seahawks fan for the night. Saw him, so happy for him. He was genuinely happy, you know.
He had a great game as well.
Did exactly what you expected of him, really, you know, kind of like how he's been all year, really. It was just brilliant. And then you saw what happened then in that fourth quarter with Seattle, where the defense just really came into its own. Yes. You know, they asked Sam Darnold, they just said, look, and a lot of people talking about Sam Darnold and biggest riser without a doubt. Mm-hmm. You can't put him in the top 10. I know there's the NFC Championship game where he kind of did help. But they said in that Super Bowl, this is your role. This is your job. He did exactly what was expected of him, did exactly what they needed to do. The defense and the running game really did the rest.
Not to mention as well, Jackson Smith and Jigba was pretty much out that second half as well.
Yeah.
But looking at that defense, like 17 points in that fourth quarter, 17.
Yeah.
Like, because up to that point, it was 9-0 going into that game. And
all field goals.
All field goals, pretty much, yeah. And going into that fourth quarter, like the Patriots, obviously they tried to come back, they scored 13, but the biggest takeaway I thought, and not to diminish too much from the Patriots, when you look at their season, they had a great season, but when you look who they played against this year, like looking at their schedule, and it's and I don't want to diminish it, like I said, I don't want to diminish it too much. They did seem to have a little bit of an easy ride. Going to the
strength of schedule is what it's all about. Like a lot of people were talking up Drake May. I was slightly sitting on the fence with it all.
I mean, he's had a good season, no doubt about it. But I will say though, if Bo Nix was not out for that game, it would have been Denver and Seattle.
Could have, very much could have been, yeah. I mean, like with Drake May in that game, you saw the limitations, without a doubt. You saw where his limits are.
And the pressure. I think it was a little bit too much for him, but there was one takeaway I noticed after the game, which kind of shows the mentality of Drake May. He kind of looked back and like kind of took in the moment and looked at the Seahawks celebrating, and he just looked so disgusted with himself that he wants to, like, I'm going to come back, etc., and I'm going to make this right. So he's got the right mentality in terms of that, I would say. But, I mean, it was a good game. Like you said, it was not the best of starts. It was a little bit of a sleeper, but then it really kicked off in that second half.
Yeah.
But Let's we say about the halftime show, because there was two of them, depending on whatever way you want to go, but we're not going to talk about it, basically. But other than that, we're now officially now in the off-season, Mike. Officially.
Yeah. Ramping up now for the combine. My favorite week of all, because it's like the testing side of it all. I think people kind of get caught too much up in it. I like to see the drills because you get to see the movement, but the stories that come out of it. So, like players' medicals, how they interviewed. You get them in front of the camera talking away, and you get to hear certain stories. That's what I like. I'm like, okay, he's going up in my little, going down on my list. That's what I enjoy.
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to talk about in this episode about the positions of need are basically what type of free agents that would actually be a good fit for the Cowboys, and basically who the Cowboys should re-sign to the roster in terms of Cowboys players they might go into free agency, but players that we should actually definitely bring back.
Mm-hmm.
So without further ado, Mike, let's just hit into it. What are the Dallas Cowboys' position of need? Because there's quite a few.
Mostly on defense. I mean, you can talk about should the Cowboys cut ties with Terrence Steele and look at right tackle? Should you be thinking of running back, depending on what they do with Javonte Williams? What about the wide receiver position? Okay. They are smaller questions than what's going on defense. Inside defensive line, you kind of feel quite secure, quite happy with. If they wanted to build on that in the draft, so be it. But it's, for me, where the biggest priority of need is kind of subjective. I say it's edge. People will disagree with that and say it's corner. I think you have to start in the trenches. Start with your foundation on the defense. Edge defense first. Then you work back into the linebacker. Then is cornerback. Then is safety. Yeah. In that order. It's literally in the pyramid order of defense.
Yeah, because when you really look at it, right? So I'm just looking at the players that kind of obviously with the sad passing of Marshawn Kneeland, we're down already. That adds to it already. So defensive end will be a need. But there is the question, with under a new defensive coordinator, Christian Parker, is that are we going to go with a 3-4 defense, because we might not need as much defensive rotation or players, whatever, that we might have to double dip more at linebacker. It really depends. But looking what we've got right now, Clowney is available as a free agent, Fowler's a free agent, Sam Williams is a free agent. So that's 3 guys already.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that leave us with? James Houston, Donovan Izaraku. That's it, pretty much.
Really, I mean, there's some guys that we never got into, really. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much in terms of what you consider starting talent, if you like. And even James Houston, when you stop and you think about it, look, brilliant pass rusher. But for me, he's a designated pass rusher. He's not a guy you're going to have on every down. Obvious passing down, put Houston in there, he's going to go disrupt the play. That's what he is. Donovan Izaraku is your every down guy.
I think the word you're looking for, Mike, is versatile.
You with Izaraku, yeah. With Houston, a little less so.
That's what I mean, because with Houston, you're not going to put him in the run play.
No, not without that. You can't have him on early downs. It doesn't make any sense. So, edge. Okay, if you want to just say whether they go 3-4-3 or whether they keep on in a rotational system, that typical pro system where they bounce back and forth different formations, fine. But it's still, edge is still a massive need. It is a huge need. The type of defensive end will tell us whether it's in the draft or free agents. It tells us kind of where they're leaning. But they're in desperate need for that. Linebacker is the next one behind that. Then is cornerback, and then is safety.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like I would say, if we're definitely going by a 3-4 defense, then I would put linebacker as a more higher priority. I mean, I think you need more numbers. You need more guys that are actually. And one thing that we definitely struggled was in the middle in a lot of games.
Yeah,
And
linebacker was terrible.
It was not the best, and there's just a lot of gaping. And don't get me started on cornerback. Like cornerback was just all over the place. We had some good moments, yes, but collectively as a whole, Diggs was AWOL.
And he's
Bland,
gone now.
yeah, and he's gone. Bland had one good game where he got his interception again, but it just didn't look like the same after signing his new contract. And we had to kind of rely on other players as well. We had to rely on bringing Siobhan Reveille, who basically coming in as a rookie, coming back from massive major surgery, massive injury, sorry, to expect him to kind of like play like the first round talent that he was supposed to be before the injury is not going to happen. So hopefully with our new defensive coordinator and our new positional coaches, things will turn for the better for Alexa Revel, and I'm very confident.
Revel definitely. I wrote a piece on it, all about his that you should expect him to rise.
Absolutely.
For a number of reasons, whole host of reasons.
I'm expecting a massive turnaround for Revel this year, massive. But looking into regards, before we even talk about the draft, because we are going to be talking about certain players, we're going to be talking likes of certain positional groups, that areas that the Cowboys could adventure in going into the draft. But what happens first? We need to look at free agency, because that will dictate how the Dallas Cowboys will go into this year's draft. Yeah. So, like you kind of mentioned there, Mike, there's the possibility we could look at tackles, we could look at defensive ends, there could be linebackers, cornerbacks, even safeties we could even look at. I mean, there's a good number of names, and thank you for sending me the top 100 list, and I've just been looking at it. There's some really good names that could actually come out of this, I find quite interesting, but there's one name that kind of stands out to me a little bit, and in a way it's a little bit left field, but it makes a lot of sense. Reid Blankenship.
It's a good name.
All right. I know he's an Eagle. I detest the Eagles with a passion, but with the connection with Christian Parker.
There you go.
Is that something that could actually sway him over to come to the Dallas Cowboys? Because he has been pretty effective for the Eagles for the past couple of years.
And he was very vocal about Parker coming to the Cowboys, along with a bunch, there was a Dijon was another one. They all mentioned about what they thought of him, and that they were gutted that he left the Cowboys. So, there is that you see players do it, that they will follow coaches around.
DeMarco Murray didn't follow a coach, but he did go to the dark side, essentially, right after his Cowboys contract. So, I mean, and we've seen it before with other teams. We've seen players from 49ers to Raiders or whoever that may be.
Dante Fowler did it with us.
That's true. Commanders, yeah. So it just shows anything can be done. But there is another name I'm quite intrigued as well. It's a former Dallas Cowboy, Nashawn Wright. I mean, I'll be honest, I would bring him back.
I'm not sure if I would, because he is good at what he does, but he is very scheme specific. So depending on how you want to dial up your defensive backs would depend how he fits. I don't mind him as the player. It's just, it depends on the scheme.
Yeah. I mean, whether that, if like Parker in the position coach, I feel very confident he would be a great fit, then by all means, I would bring Nashawn Wright without hesitation, because I thought he had a fantastic season for the Bears. Fantastic season. Yeah. But just kind of looking at all these other players here. So I'm just looking at the list of names of defensive ends because we've been
Trey
talking about...
Hendrickson is really the big one.
I love Trey Hendrickson. I do. It is cheaper than likes of re-signing George Pickens. Yes, I know he's a wide receiver, but it's still a hefty price.
I mean, like, look, it all depends on, like, Jerry has made comments that he wants to make some splashes in free agency. I know we've heard this before. So let's wait. Yeah, let's wait and see. If you do, Trey Hendrickson's that immediate splash. Jaden Phillips, another one. You know, you can get these guys and you can go for it. Phillips being a bit younger as well. Like, they're names that I'm interested in. What I'm not after is like going for bottom of the barrel, and I do hate to do it because it diminishes kind of some place. But you know, like say someone like Khalil Mack, right?
Well, he's what, 35, 36 years old?
Exactly. So you know that.
But
I'm all for covering yourself for the draft to give yourself options in the first round. That would be one where I'm kind of like, is that really a big splash here of free agency? I don't feel it is.
Experience-wise, can really bring a lot to these younger players. Yes, like we saw that with Eric Kendricks, the influence he had with other linebackers. So I'm not saying Kendricks is Khalil Mack. I mean, Khalil Mack to me is a better linebacker by far, but the age factor is the thing. But we have seen
that position as well.
I know, but we've seen players in that position playing into their late 30s and still playing at the highest level. Like Brandon Graham, for example. Really good example. Even though he just came out of retirement just for half a season, just there. But he played, till he was, 37, 38 or something like that? So there is that. But I'm just looking at the names here. Like, you've got guys like Joey Bosa, let me see. Who I know, but 31 years old, Tavion Chason, who's 27.
I don't mind the chase on idea because he is developing. Not being the splash, because I really liked him in the draft. Just a shame of how it's gone for him, that he's never really reached the potential.
One of the guys that you talked about years ago that you were a big fan of was Kwity Paye.
I do like Kwity Paye. Yeah.
Right? He's there. 27 years old. I mean, there is a lot of possibilities here, like what we could do. Like, and again, I'm just going to look at the linebackers now as well. I mean, there's a lot of names there I would definitely look to bring in, but there is one I would say that kind of makes sense also, and his brother already plays. We already talked about this. Is Quincy Williams, because his brother Quentin Williams already plays for the Cowboys. Like, Quincy coming on board would kind of make sense to kind of have that, like, relationship there, etc. Like, I get that. But will the Cowboys kind of do that? Would that make like just doing it just because that's his brother? I don't know. I don't think that would happen. But there is one. Like,
what about Nakobe Dean?
Nakobe Dean is a shit, but the other one is Leo Chenal.
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad. I would say I would take him in a heartbeat. I would.
Yeah, no. I'm thinking, like, I'm just trying to think in terms of, because this is tough because you don't know what the scheme is gonna. In the past, we could have been like, we know, is that gonna fit? The issue is, I'm just wondering because of scheme. The league's fantastic. I'm not saying that. I'm saying not bad because I'm just wondering how's that going to look on the scheme. But it's hard to say because we don't know what the scheme's going to look like.
The only people who will definitely know is our coaching staff. They will have the best assessment. But we can throw these names out left, right, and center. It would be great to see these names wearing the star, essentially. It would be great. And if they can go out there and perform to the highest ability and actually win us a championship, fantastic. But at this point, we're just kind of like this name and this name. But we're very curious to know, though, you as the audience, who would you like the Dallas Cowboys to bring in free agency? Please leave a comment in our comment section on YouTube. We would love to hear from you.
Yeah.
But I mean, even going out of field as well, there's the possibility of running back if we
There
don't sign
is.
Williams.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's Travis Etienne, Kenneth
There-
Walker, who just won the Super Bowl.
There you go.
Rashad White, Rico Dowdle's back available. Tyler Algier, he's more of a number 2, to be fair.
Yes.
But yeah, it's a very thin group of running backs that you could probably say, oh yeah, that's our number 1 running back, essentially.
Could you imagine perhaps maybe Breece Hall? I know there's the injuries.
I would not risk it. I know a lot of people are so high on Breece Hall, but I'm very skeptical. I'm skeptical about him, if I'm being honest, because of the injuries.
Yeah.
That's what worries me. So, but looking at also at tackles, we've got Rasheed Walker, Braden Smith, Jermaine Elmanure, Braxton Jones, Jack Conklin, who's 32. I mean, but would not surprise me we actually do draft a offensive lineman tackle if we start making more trades back into the second and third. That would not surprise me. But there's nothing really there that kind of stands out to me from that point. But in terms of the other positions, in terms of cornerbacks,
there are plenty.
yeah. I mean, like I already mentioned, Nashawn Wright's there, Greg Newsom's there, Eric Stokes, Russell Douglas, Josh Williams, Cordell Flott, Jameel Dean, Cam Taylor-Britt.
That's the one I like.
Yep. Rick Woolen, Jalen Watson. I mean, there's plenty of names we could think of here, but like I said, like we just need to wait and see how things materialize, because once we know how the formation works out, then it gives us going into this draft a better idea of what to really kind of see what the priority is, and we can do a more deeper scan of these certain players. Because, like, if we are going a 3-4 defense, I don't think, me personally, defensive end is not the top priority. I would say it's linebacker.
You still need the edge rushers.
I know we still need it, yes, but I would say if there's a linebacker there that's more higher rated than a defensive end, like I would take the linebacker.
Yeah, I mean the tell will be the type of defensive ends and linebackers they get will really tell you. They go out and get Hassan Reddick, for instance, on free agency. You go,
that'd be very interesting.
You're starting to see the signals of where the things are going, where they're leaning towards.
And Reddick is pretty good at stopping the run.
He's double bonus. So,
yep, he's very versatile. But
yeah.
But in terms of the free agents that for the Dallas Cowboys, so we've got George Pickens, Javonte Williams, who we kind of mentioned, Jadeveon Clowney, Dante Fowler, Donovan Wilson, Sam Williams, Brock Hoffman, Jalen Tolbert, C.J. Goodwin, and in terms of restricted free agents, we're at Brandon Aubrey, T.J. Bass, and Wanway Thomas. Now, like, let's just say there is no cap at all. Who would you bring back? So I'll run through the names and see if we're yes or no. All right. So George Pickens.
If money's no object, then yeah.
Money's no object. So I mean, it's a definite yes.
Yeah.
Javonte Williams. I'm going to say yeah. It's an easy.
Yeah.
Jadeveon Clowney. That's an easy yes.
Yeah.
Dante Fowler.
That's the one where I'm on the fence with. Now we're saying money's no object is not there. Then yeah. The issue is out of the vacuum that we're in. I sit there and I go, because I'm watching it. I'm like, he was supposed to be the pace car last year for the Cowboys with Micah Parsons gone, and we didn't really see it. And I'm like,
I barely noticed them on the field, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. And
the only thing that swings it is it's an even year. Dante Fowler has that biannual swing in his statistics, and you go through his career, it is like that. Not an even year he produces.
I'm sorry, but I fail to believe that crap. I'm sorry. I don't. Like, you play as your best as your last year. That's it.
I mean, there is that.
Like, also we've got Donovan Wilson.
No. No.
I'm sorry, but we need to move on. Sam Williams.
I'm willing to give him another chance.
A 2-year contract, possibly, yes.
Because there is something there. And what you're hoping is that I think there were issues with the defensive ends last year because of the linebackers that they ended up having to get pulled
It's
into
all
cover.
interlinked, mate. All interlinked.
Yeah. So they were having issues because they were being asked to do other things. Sam Williams was being asked to do things that doesn't really fit what he was doing. When you got him free and loose, you saw a different Sam Williams. You saw the Sam Williams people were hoping he was going to be as that second-round pick. And you've seen him disrupting incredible chase. Like the hustle on the guy is insane. You will keep going to the bitter end. You've seen that with him a number of times. And when you do, you're like, there's that Sam Williams we've been waiting for. I think I'm willing.
Consistency is the problem.
It's consistency and getting him into a right
frame of
role.
mind.
And role as well. Get the right role for him. And I mean, you see him on special teams. The special teams plays he makes, because his get off, his burst, acceleration is so insane. The speed on the guy. And just get him out there and get him the right role. And I think you can get something out of him. So I would keep him.
Yeah. I wouldn't do it possibly long time unless it's really good cap friendly, whatever it be. But I know we're going with no cap in mind here.
Yeah.
But the next one on the list is Mr. Brock Hoffman.
Yeah.
To me, that's an easy yes.
Yeah.
Like solid backup for the Cowboys.
You need that guy in there, yeah. The inside offensive line as well. When you stop and you think about it, we go, it's fine. You've got your three inside guys. It depends. Like, what are you going to be doing at left tackle, right tackle this year?
Yeah, I mean, let's remember as well, when he filled in for Cooper Beebe, I felt he did an exceptional job. Yeah, he had a couple of mishaps and 1 or 2 snaps, but
there's an obvious difference between the two.
There is an obvious difference, but overall, I thought he kept the boat afloat at most of the time. So I would bring him on board, bring him back. All right. Well, I think I know your answer to this one. Jalen Tolbert. Gone. Yep. Yep. Had enough.
It made no sense keeping him this year.
Yeah, that was the biggest surprise, because we saw in last year's preseason, training camp, Trayshawn Holden looking great. Like, obviously, Mingo, before the injury happened, he was looking pretty good. And obviously, Ralph Flournoy looked absolutely fantastic in camp, and he actually continued that out of all those wide receivers. And actually, whenever he was given the opportunity, he made plays on the field. So, yeah, and Tolbert was just he was given opportunity after opportunity, and he just was not making those chances. And we even said, and like you said, we were surprised that he was even added to the 53-man roster at the start of the season.
I still don't get it. I still don't get that move. But anyway.
Yeah, neither do I.
Yeah.
Okay, next one on the list is CJ Goodwin.
Age on that one.
Yeah, I think it may be time to, even though it'll be cheap, but I think we might have to look at a more younger, more energetic type of player to help within special teams.
Yeah.
All right, in terms of the restricted free agents, Brandon Aubrey.
Sold. I've got that one.
Yep. That's easy. Yes. Get him re-signed to a new contract. Next is guard TJ Bass.
Yes.
I agree. TJ Bass, again, I think he is a solid backup as well. Keep that continuity going with the offensive line. And I would bring Bass in a heartbeat. And finally, One-Way Thomas.
Yeah.
I think One-Way has actually made some good strides, in the special teams. I'd rather keep him there for that.
Yeah. Special teams for sure, but also if we're saying no to Donovan Wilson, and then you think whatever's going to happen with Malik Hooker, with what's going on there, it's let's crowd, because I don't care what people say. Juan Thomas is a safety. Yes. Yeah. So let's keep him in there. He's a safety blanket if we don't do anything in the draft or free agency at safety.
Yeah, totally. All right. And in terms of the last thing I want to talk about, and it is kind of going back to the free agents in terms of like the top 100 free agents and stuff like that. So there was an article by Fox News releasing their top 100 list. And in terms of who the Cowboys should bring on board, they are suggesting they should bring on Devin Bush and Asante Samuel Jr. to the Cowboys.
I'm okay with both.
I would be happy with that also.
Yeah.
And they're both quite young still. I think Bush is 27 and I think Samuel Jr. is 25. And I know Asante Samuel Jr. has been with the Chargers and he's had that one season with the Steelers. I mean, I think he's quite proven. Bush, obviously, he's won a Super Bowl with Tampa Bay. So, I mean, I would bring him on board. Like, if it fits the scheme, like we kind of outlined, it makes sense. Go for it.
And with Bush as well, he gives you that coverage ability at the linebacker position.
And the thing is, these guys were like more like down in the lower part of the top 100 according to Fox Sports News. So they're not like the creme de la creme, like your Trey Hendricksons or anything like that. These were like guys that are like almost an afterthought, but they could still make a massive impact potentially.
Yeah. So, I don't have either in. So the top 100 I sent you, I don't have either of them in my top 100.
Yeah. It just shows like everyone's top 100 is obviously going to be very different to everyone. So it's so subjective. So
I mean, like number one on my list is George Pickens.
Makes sense. Makes perfect sense. He was absolutely balling this year.
Yeah.
All right. But yes, folks, before we do finish off, be sure to hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, follow us at The World's Team on all social platforms. But before we do go, Mike, please tell everyone where everyone can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter or X at Kenfig Cowboy. That's Kenfig with a K, Cowboy with a K, and you, Mr. P.
Find me at IamPeaceToo on X and Instagram. But yes, folks, that is the end of this episode. Next week, we'll be covering more into like the possible draft prospects and so much more, and all the latest news coming from the Star in Frisco. So be sure to go and check us out. Like I said, hit that like button and subscribe where you don't miss a beat talking about the Dallas Cowboys. But as always here on the World's Team, it's not just America's team, it is the World's Team. We'll see you guys next time.
That's a wrap on the World's Team Podcast. Smash that like button and hit subscribe, Cowboys Nation. This ain't just America's team, it's your team. Touchdown! It's the World's Team, only on Believe, where real fans live.
How about them Cowboys?